What's up everybody, Raider XP here. Today I am going to show you how to make an infinite mud farm for Minecraft Bedrock 1.21. Now I don't know about you, but I've been using these mud blocks to build with a lot lately. These are the coolest things, I swear. I can't get enough of them, and this thing will give you every bit of mud that you would ever need without having to go spend a bunch of time underwater or have to go to, a swamp area, deal with, anything you got to deal with over there. So this is definitely the way to go. Now these are the materials that you're going to need. Go ahead and pause your video, and while you're at it, consider subscribing to my channel, leaving a like, and dropping a comment. Alright, let's get this thing going, shall we? Okay, now the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to grab a temporary block, and we're just going to place 2 blocks like so, and we're going to take our dispenser and we're going to place it right on top of there. We'll go ahead and get rid of those temporary blocks. I'm going to come behind here and we're going to make a T just like so. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our comparator and we're going to place our comparator facing away just like so. We're going to take our redstone and we're going to place redstone dust, 3 of them, just like that. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our redstone repeater here and we're going to place our redstone repeater right there facing towards our dispenser. Grab your redstone torch and place it right on that block, just like that. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our droppers and we're going to come along the side here just like so. We're going to place our first dropper and it's going to be pointing up, and you'll see the hole like that, and that tells you that it's going upward. Now you're going to crouch down and you're going to place 3 more on top of that, just like so. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our hopper and we're going to crouch down and we're going to place a hopper pointing straight down into that dispenser like so. Come down here, crouch down, and place another dispenser pointing right into that comparator like so, and then crouch down and place another hopper into that dropper there. Then we're going to come up top here and we're going to crouch down and we're going to place a dispenser right on top of that dropper. Alright, next thing we're going to do is you're going to grab yourself your temporary block and just place your temporary block in front of that dispenser like so, and we're just going to surround that with our trap doors, and this is going to be where our water is going to be contained. Now crouch down and place your bucket of water just like so. Don't put it in the dropper, put it so it's right in front of that. And then what you want to do, and this is important to be honest, you're going to place another trapdoor right on top of that water, and what that will do is that will keep your bottles of water from spitting out, and they, this way they don't necessarily, you might miss a clump of mud every now and then, and you don't have to go back and pick up all your bottles and all that good stuff like that. Alright, and the reason we put this hopper facing into that dropper is once that our water bottles has been dispensed and turned it into mud, it will kick it down in our empties into that, and then it'll spit that back up into our hoppers and bring it back up into our dispenser to keep our system running smooth. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a temporary block and we're going to place 5 temporary blocks just like so, and the reason we're doing that is because we're going to set up our piston mechanism and we want it to be facing towards our thing like that. I guess you only needed 4, so that's how that's going to be. We'll go ahead and take those out all the way up because we don't need those anymore. Okay, what I like to do now is I'm going to place a block right behind them stairs there, because we're just going to make ourselves our own little set of stairs like so, and that way we'll be able to stand right here and feed our dirt. But there will be another area I've noticed when I've been doing this. You can be able to stand right here to feed your dirt, and this way you never place your dirt in the wrong place. Either way will work out just fine. So the next thing we're going to want to do is come right here underneath that piston, and we're going to place a block, grab our redstone torch, and place it right there just like that. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab our blocks. So we're going to come around back here and we're going to place a block right next to that piston like so. We're going to place it next to that redstone torch, and then one right on the floor. Now what that's going to do is we're going to put our redstone in, and that's going to power up all of our droppers to be able to feed our empties back in. Now, speaking of which, we're going to take our redstone dust and we're going to run our redstone dust all the way up that stair step just like so. Grab your glass, place your glass right on top of that one right there, and then place another block like so. Grab your redstone dust and bring that over, and now our droppers and dispensers are going to be fully powered. And the reason we put this torch here is because when we place our dirt in front of it, it'll engage that piston and start pushing our things forward just like so. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to come over to our hoppers, and what we're going to do is this one here that's pointing into that comparator, we're going to put 41 bottles in there, and then we're just going to put a filler in the last 4 spaces, and then that will allow our bottles to distribute the way it's supposed to. Come down to the bottom one, grab one bottle and place it right there just like that. And what that'll do is that'll tell our system to push our empty bottles down and through and back up and feed us back into our top dispenser just like so. Alright, the next thing we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to grab yourself a bunch of bottles, preferably like 9 stacks, because we want to fill this dispenser up with empty bottles. That way it never runs out and we never have to worry about it running out and messing up everything. Next thing we're going to do is we need to power this dispenser here. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a little 2x2 block just like so. We're going to grab our redstone repeater, place it right in front of that dispenser, and then we're going to grab ourselves a block of redstone to power that up. And now what that will do is now when we start feeding our machine, as you can see, that's going to power that and turn that into mud just like so. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come alongside here, we're going to skip a space, and right here we're going to place a row of 8 blocks, and we're going to do that 2 rows high just like so. And what we're going to do now is we're going to grab our pistons and we're going to place them right on top just like so. And what this is going to do is when our mud gets all the way down to the end here, it's going to kick it out so that we end up with a big tray of mud that we can, use our shovel to farm it up. Now what we're going to do is come back behind here and we're going to run a row of blocks right underneath our piston just like so. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to come back over to the end here and we're just going to place 3 more blocks just like so. We're going to grab our redstone torch and place it right there underneath that last piston. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our redstone dust and we're going to just run a line of redstone all the way down, connecting every one of those pistons to each other. Now what this will do is when our mud makes its way all the way down here to this last piston, as you can see, every one of those pistons will engage and it'll push that whole row out, and that way we can just keep on continuing making our mud. Alright guys, and this is, I'm telling you now, here what we do is we'll come over here and to this little stairway that we built, and like I said, this is where we'll just stand here and we'll just start feeding our dirt in there, and as you can see, when it gets down to that last piston, it'll just push it out and we just keep on going. And what'll happen is, like I said, when you stand here, sometimes if you get this thing going too fast, you'll end up, end up getting dirt like this, and then you gotta stop and stuff. What I have found is that if you come down here and you stand right here and you point your dirt right at that piston, you will never place a piece of dirt in the wrong place, and you can just sit here and just infinitely crank out your mud. And look at that, and that's just in seconds worth of distributing. And that is how we make an infinite mud farm for Minecraft Bedrock 1.21. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out all my videos. Bye now.